Greetings, Vault Hunters all across the 6 galaxies. Welcome to the Bordercast. We are live at our usual time, Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. I'm Mitsu.
And I'm Tessica, coming to you every week to break down all things Borderlands.
Borderlands wins an award at Gamescom. What award is it? Why? We'll tell you and discuss all the potential implications of said award.
So cool. So excited for that. Oh, man. Also, we have a trailer to play for you guys that you might have seen. And Gearbox also thought it would be super fun to treat us to a ton of gameplay footage, which, courtesy of IGN, will be breaking down on today's show.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I have not actually watched it yet in preparation for today's show. Yes, my preparation is not seeing things because I want that reaction to be live with all of you who are watching us today, as well as those of you who may be joining later on, which that reminds me, as always, we want to take a minute to thank all of our new listeners on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and those watching live on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Steam, or later on the VOD on YouTube. And if you are enjoying the program, we would love for you to give us a big ol' like, follow, or favorite. That way you get some sort of notification when we go live. And I think that's how that works, right? I'm not tech savvy. I just play video games. That's how that works, right, Tess?
Don't worry. The tech savviness really only involves, and I know this because I just had to do it earlier today. You know, you just take a giant hammer and you just go wah to fix all technology, and it's fantastic. Perfect. It works really well.
That's how Harlequin fixes everything, right?
Yes. Or you know, this is how we fix things in Mother Russia. Because I'm Russian.
Oh, yeah, that makes perfect sense, too.
Right?
Oh, there's a scene in GoldenEye about that, too. He takes a giant sledgehammer and uses it, smashes the engine, and just works for some reason.
Also,
it is how Russia works.
Yeah. Oh, God. What was the movie with the spaceship? That's the one I'm visualizing, but I can't think of the name.
Which one?
Armageddon.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Also, there's a line, something about... Russian components, American components, all made in Taiwan. I love that. I know that movie way too well. Oh God. Okay. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, we're gonna have a conversation about that after the show. But that being said, there is a lot to look forward to. Psycho Krieg and the Fantastic Fustercluck is happening. It's real, and it is 9 days away. 9.5 days away. 8 days away. 9 days away.
I can't believe it's so soon. I'm so excited. Oh my God. So excited. I like every little bit that we've seen, the trailer, the IGN footage, etc. When we got to do the interview for last week, talking to Fran about it, just like I couldn't possibly be more hype to get inside someone's brain. I think it's going to be a good time.
They dropped this like a nuke on us.
Yeah,
it just appeared out of nowhere, and then there was just a mass destruction of chaos and insanity from everybody. Yeah. Everybody is universally hyped. Even my wife, who hasn't played in forever, is like, "Oh my God, wait, Krieg's coming back." Hold on, all right, I need to go play DLC 3 real quick, and then I'm gonna play 4, and 4 is really exciting, so we're gonna do that. And I'm like, okay, I guess I got to deal with that now. So. Everybody, big and small, wherever they are, seems to be coming back for 4 if 3 wasn't a big enough deal for you. And that kind of makes me happy because then they'll go back hopefully and play 3. And 3 was really good too. Yeah, I love Bounty Blood.
Definitely. So people are playing or looking forward to playing more, but have you checked out Mayhem Made Mild yet? Because that's still going on until next Thursday. I'm so excited.
Oh, so I'm glad you brought this up. And I want to take a little bit as we start getting into everything, especially because we don't have much in the way of hot fixes this week. And I guess we could kind of cover it because the hot fix this week, if you want to play the jingle, I mean, why not?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, why not? Here's one hot fix. The hot fix is that there's a new event, and the new event was exactly what Tess said. It's Mayhem Made Mild. This is a point of contention, and I'm so glad that Tess brought this up. And we could jump right into this. I have enjoyed it so far. Part of the reason I've enjoyed it is because it's allowing me to use Galaxy Brain, and Galaxy Brain applies in the cutscenes.
Oh, does it?
So it does.
Oh my God. I forgot about that. That's awesome.
So, for example, at the last cutscene where Moxie and Timmy are about to, like, they have that like flirtatious attraction. You think that will they, won't they? They're about to kiss. Their heads are so big, they wind up kind of accidentally kissing anyway. So it just looks ridiculous. And then at the end of DLC 2, when Wainwright and Hammerlock get married, they kiss, but they go so far into each other's faces that they're about halfway through, like to their ears, by the time they stop.
Oh my
And
God.
Deathtrap's head is gigantic. Even Deathtrap's head is gigantic. Obviously, Grave Ward's head is gigantic. You can just, everywhere you go, everybody's got a big head.
Oh my
And
God.
it's really funny to see, even in the cutscenes.
That's glorious. I'm excited to try that. So I haven't had time to actually play. I'm super looking forward to it. I'm doing a bonus stream tonight on the Borderlands channel instead of my stream yesterday because I'm literally busy beating multiple capture cards into submission. But I'm super psyched to play it tonight, so it's going to be cool. I'm going to be trying out a build that Moxie sent me, actually. We need to have him back on Ultimate Vault Hunter soon because he's been working on some things, I think. Things are brewing.
I mean, that's a conversation we can have. We have this week's wonderful guest lined up. I believe that is Psychotic Wolf, who will be coming very soon.
Yes.
And then in 2 weeks for Ultimate Vault Hunters, I was going to tease it a little bit. We could announce it here. Why not? Defreesicles
Yes.
will be on the show. And some people who know Defreesicles may say, why would you have Defreesicles on? He's not really known for endgame builds. He does a lot of one life runs and stuff like that. And to you, I say, exactly. We're going to take the concept of what it means to be an ultimate Vault Hunter, and we're going to turn it on its ear. And we're going to look things through a new lens and a different perspective. And that'll be in 2 weeks on Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. But this week, the Ultimate Vault Hunters show will be appearing with, of course, Psychotic Wolf as the guest, and of course, Liz 55 as the indelible host.
Yes, I'm putting both of their links to their streams in the chat right now in case you guys want to go follow them. They both stream Borderlands. They're both awesome. But yeah,
yes.
Yeah, and Depriesticles, so I think that show will be extra special for a couple of reasons. One is a new meaning for, I think, a lot of people for what it means to be an Ultimate Vault Hunter, because I know a lot of the builders also have been doing one life runs. A lot of us have been doing some kind of challenge run. It's kind of becoming one of the things to do in endgame to challenge yourself and kind of see if you can survive. And it's just it's a different way to play. You look at things differently, you end up pacing things differently. It's much scarier, in my opinion, which is kind of cool once you've played through it normally a few times or a lot of times. But it's also, I think, really beneficial to people just getting into the game, of which there are actually quite a few, who are not sure how best to level from the beginning to have fun and not die a lot, because, I mean, Borderlands as a normal playthrough doesn't penalize you a bunch when you're dying or dead or down, but it doesn't feel good to die a lot, right? You want to have like a reasonably powerful build from the beginning. And so watching someone who literally, if they die, are going to have to delete that character, play through it and figure out how to, like, where to put points, what items to get first, could be really beneficial to a lot of the people that are just getting into the game now, or leveling new characters for the DLC, or who knows.
So it's going to be a really fantastic interview. I can't wait to see what he has to bring to the table. This kind of developed after a previous episode of the Bordercast where we actually had Depriesticles on.
Yep.
And we were wondering if he would come on to the show. And as it turns out, we kind of retooled the narrative in certain ways to figure out how to best accommodate it. And I think that it still fits. I think that it still fits the bill. And we will see in 2 weeks' time exactly how that looks. But for now, we are very excited to have Wolf back on and see what he can bring, because we had him on very recently. He had a Mose. Now he has a different kind of Mose to look at. So we'll see what that could wind up being. But you're going to have to wait 2 more days. Just 2, though.
Yeah, that Mose is awesome. It's one of my favorites. It's a blast. I don't want to tell you too much about it. You've probably seen me play it a little bit, but I haven't been playing it recently, so you could be surprised. I think you'll like it.
Mayhem Made Mild. Going back to that real quick. Here's my big issue. Everybody seems to be thoroughly enjoying it, and that's great. But people are using this kind of as a justification for the stepping stone to remove all the modifiers. And I feel like I'm in a very small minority here, but I am one of the very few people who actually likes the modifiers as they stand right now. Not that I don't like Mayhem Made Mild. I actually really enjoy that too, because I like the easy modifiers, and sometimes it's fun to just blast my way through everything. But at the same time, I kind of miss a little bit of that extra challenge on top of where we're at right now, because enemies still feel a little health spongy. And admittedly, I'm on my flak. My flak is not completely geared out yet, so he's not obliterating everything. I'm sorry, they are not obliterating everything, but they are still doing respectable numbers and killing things in respectable amounts of time. But I definitely feel that where's that extra level of challenge that I've been kind of missing? And again, I'm in a very vocal minority, so I understand that people are about to be like, you're a crazy Mitsu, especially you, Tess. I can see it right now.
Well, no, not necessarily. Like, I understand the desire for extra challenge. That's why people like Depresticles and me and lots of streamers and lots of just, players are loving challenge runs right now. However, I feel like the modifiers, some of them don't add challenge in a way that like makes it adds challenge in a weird way where it makes like it's so much extra challenge for certain builds and not enough challenge for other builds. So like, especially if you're playing with other people, the modifiers that will challenge you, for example, as a flak player may not kind of mesh with the same modifiers that would challenge me as a Moze player, right? And so if we were to play together, it'd be really hard to re-roll modifiers for a long time, trying to figure out something that would work for both of us and not penalize one of us much more than the other, right? So
Sure.
I feel like that's a big concern for people, and people just want the ability to turn it off. They want the ability to have like the higher health, and armor and stuff, but no modifiers. Enough people in the community have said it that like I felt the same as you in the past. I really like the modifiers, but I kind of am like, just from hearing the community talk so much, I feel like at least letting people choose which modifiers instead of having to re-roll and re-roll and re-roll and re-roll for a really long time. Like an option to re-roll and have it be random and just deal with whatever you get is cool, but always having to is less cool. I don't know. So I feel like people need more choice.
Game design is about, carrot and stick. It's you dangle the carrot in front out on the stick, and then you beat the person with the stick, and then eventually they figure out how to get to the carrot. That's game design. So, and that applies pretty much anywhere, especially in contemporary theory. So when we take that and we extrapolate it and we put it in Borderlands, for example, when you take away the modifiers, that you're taking away some of the beating that the stick gives you. So what needs to happen then in that theory is the carrot, you like take the carrot, cut it in half, and that's what you get for the reward. So what I would like to see is a combination of these ideas, yours and just keeping it where it is, where you could turn on and off different modifiers. Let's say you put on 4 easy modifiers, right? And then you jack everything up to where it is on Mayhem 10. But because you put on all those easy modifiers, it lowers the percentage chance of you getting legendaries slightly. That way, it like penalizes you slightly for making the game easier. But you still get to choose all of those easy modifiers. So if you like Mayhem Gone Mild, like I like it right now, and I just want to go and use all those easy modifiers because it'd be fun, fine. But I'm not going to see it rain orange. Conversely, if you put on 4 very hard modifiers and jacked everybody's health, armor, and shielding all the way up, then what it does is, let's say, we'll give an arbitrary number, 200%. You get a 200% increase on legendaries on top of what it currently is right now. You're getting beat with the stick, but you know what? There's a big fat carrot for you at the end. That's a golden carrot. And so that makes it a little bit more palatable, I feel like, for people. And maybe I'm off the base on this one, but I have a very strong feeling that that's like the middle ground that you could have. Like each easy, normal, hard, and very hard modifier affects the percentages of legendary chance drops on top of each mayhem. And it gets a little bit more heady and complicated, but I mean,
I feel like that would be
the best middle
fair,
ground.
honestly.
Yeah.
I like, one thing I wouldn't want is for people to not be able to get Mayhem 10 modifiers at Mayhem 10, Mayhem 10 loot at Mayhem 10, because then people feel excluded. But if it's just a little bit more rare, but it's easier to play through and more fun for whoever, depending on their sort of play style and choice and who they're playing with. Yeah, I do think that that would be a lot more fair and help a lot of people with choice and stuff like that. I don't know how complicated it would be to implement. We dream up all of these things and we are not developers. And so every single time we come up with something crazy that would be like awesome if we could have it, I wonder, and I'm like, is this possible? Can they actually do that? Because like some things, I'm sure, like they've done crazy stuff that I never would have thought was possible. Because so they can do a lot, but some things, like the way the systems are already, we just don't know. We don't know how complex it would be and whether or not it would be possible to do some of the things that we've asked for as a community, I think. So that's definitely something that's kind of, we'll never really know. They do their best though. So
Sure. And I wanted to kind of go into that as well. And we'll touch about this a little bit later when we start talking about the award that Borderlands ran. They've done such a good job over the past year of keeping everything updated, more so than they ever did with Borderlands 2. But that's because this is a different kind of beast, and their long-term vision for the game and the series is different and more grandiose, I would say. Not that they didn't have big dreams back then either, but I don't think that they quite realized that we as a community could get 7 years of content out of a game that probably should have died after a year, maybe a year and a half. Because we really stretched that game like a piece of taffy.
There was a lot there.
Went, but it never broke.
There was a lot there. There was a lot of fun. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it was, I mean, definitely the community kept that game going, but the game gave them a playground in which they could exist and have fun for 7 years, and it's incredible, you know. And I absolutely think that Borderlands 3 is capable of that, even with just where it's at right now, which is a really awesome place. But with how they keep updating and keep adding and keep listening to the community and making changes that we're asking for, it's kind of amazing to me that they're still so like involved with it, and hopefully they'll continue to be, and it's just really cool.
It's and again, that'll feed into what we talk about a little bit later, because boy, I got some feelings in my tummy. I want to get them out, and that's kind of what we're here to do. But we've got a few things to go into. Okay, so Mayhem Gone Mild. We usually do this past week. Let's talk about that a little bit more. What did you do this past week in Borderlands?
Like I said, I haven't had a ton of time to check out the newest like event, because I literally have.
You have your giant mallet in your tech.
Yeah, so I think I was telling Mitsu in the pre-show that I think I actually have lost track. I have like 7 capture cards and 3 computers that are all kind of mad at each other at the moment. So big mallet, lots of technology. That's basically what's been going on with me. But I'm playing tonight. I'm playing Borderlands tonight on the Borderlands channel. So a little bit after Bordercast ends at 7 p.m. Eastern tonight, I'll be doing a Borderlands stream, and I'll be playing Moxie's Amara build. I've mostly been playing a lot of Moe's. I have played a little bit off stream. And a little bit on stream, but mostly I've just been kind of doing one lives and kind of chilling with Mose, because I love Mose a lot, and she might be my new favorite.
Oh boy. Wow, abandoning the siren ship.
Well, no, I will always be a siren at heart. I'm actually pretty much planning to get the Maya tattoo at this point. I just kind of have to wait for COVID to not be a thing anymore, because it's going to be like my whole arm, but that's probably going to happen whenever it's safe. And anyway, I love sirens, and I think Moxie might have heard me say that I might be moseying towards a different favorite. And so he sent me this cool build, and it's like ridiculous damage. Of course, that's what he's known for. So I'm excited to check it out. So that's basically what I have been up to and what I'm going to be up to tonight. What about you?
So I had a lot of fun this week on the main channel playing through Mayhem Made Mild. See, I keep wanting to say Mayhem Gone Mild. And that's unfortunately programming from advertising from a yesteryear gone by for something that we will not talk about. So yes, Mayhem Made Mild was kind of the centerpiece for what I was getting to enjoy today and yesterday as well. And that kind of feeds into me finally finishing everything that I need to get done in terms of DLC stories on Flack. I finished DLC 3 on Monday, and then we started 1, finished 1, and now we're working through, or have just finished Guns, Love, and Tentacles.
Nice.
And that's how I knew that they had big heads and smashed their faces together, because it just looked ridiculous. So it's been great. There's a lot that I still think I need to get done on Flack. I don't feel like I am the glass cannon that Flack is meant to be. And that is solely because I just haven't farmed the proper guns, I imagine, yet, or anointments. I will say this. Have you yet gotten a flipper?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's my favorite gun.
What a gun!
That's my favorite gun that exists in that and the light show. But honestly, the flipper, especially on the Moe's that Triple G sent me like a while ago. That was the last episode of Ultimate Vault Hunter. That is still my favorite Moe's. For just like running around and shooting, you know what I mean? The one that's going to be on Ultimate Vault Hunter that Psychotic Wolf put together, that's coming in a couple of days. That one is you're in Iron Bear all the time and you're using Iron Bear's guns, right? And it's really cool. But if I want to just like run around and shoot and never reload, never need to buy ammo, just hold down the fire button and just like look at things and have them disintegrate in front of me, use the flipper on that Moe's build by Triple G from last week, because it's ridiculous and it's so much fun and I love it. Ooh, it's yeah, that gun is amazing on any character. I think I was using it on Amara actually the other day too, and it's just that gun, I love it.
That's what they were telling me. So they told me the flipper, and I didn't quite see it at first. Now I kind of get a little bit more. The flipper has a lot of splash damage. So when they said that, of course, where does your mind go immediately? It goes to Moe's. And then I remembered what anointment I had on it. You're going to love this. Below 50%, 150% extra radiation damage.
Ooh. So for Flack.
What does Moe's do, though? Moe's gets rid of all of her health and throws it all into shields.
Yeah.
And remember, we talked about this on a previous episode of Ultimate Vault Hunters. When she's at 1 HP, that's below 50% because it still figures you in for your maximum or your base max HP. So you're below 50% the whole time.
Yeah.
You're always getting 150% extra radiation damage, plus the splash damage, plus either shock or cryo, because that's what it had, and it's a Mayhem 10 flipper.
Yeah. Yeah.
As soon as now it's all coming together, right? That's like thick fillet math.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's
so
unbelievable. So when I have a Moe's grow up, my plan is to eventually let my flipper go and move it over to Moe's.
Nice.
Because I think that it will do very, very well on her. Yes. I'm very excited.
Oh, hey, there's a thick fillet in the chat.
What is ask and ye shall receive. He loves to show up.
You guys should all go follow him.
Right?
Click on the link.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. For those of you who don't know, this is more of a visual thing. Over on the Twitch chat, we of course play on twitch.tv/Borderlands every couple of days. And we have a lot of new people who are joining the content creation team who will eventually also be playing on twitch.tv/Borderlands at some points. Yep. So what Tess was kind enough to do under something she'd wanted to do for a while and kind of a little nudge from Psychotic Wolf is basically revamp our chatbot so that now you can use commands to bring up people's Twitch channels if you wanted to promote them in the Borderlands channel, which it's amazing. Moobot's doing a good job of being that kind of thing.
Yeah, so if you see a streamer streaming on the Borderlands channel, like for Triple, I think it's !Triple. For Thick, it's !Thick. For Mitsu, it's !Mitsu. Any streamer that you see streaming on the official channel, usually their name is in the title. But if you just want a handy way to find their channel, you can do that by typing the command. Yeah, it's
indeed. Cool. The bot will provide.
Oh my God, that's way too good.
What? Oh my God. So what that was the nice thing about playing through DLC 2 is I got to hang out with Mancubus Bloodtooth.
Oh my God, you were way too good at that. Seriously, that's terrifying.
Yes. I forget why. There's something I used to listen to where they used to do that voice, and that's one of those voices I just practiced. It's very close to Kermit, that's why. It's like Kermit if you don't go with the throat right here. That's what that voice is. And I'm pointing to like my Adam's apple right there.
terrifyingly creepy. He's a very creepy character, but he's also kind of a good guy, I guess. I think everybody, when they first met him, was absolutely convinced that he was going to be the bad guy in the
100%.
story. Like completely, like instantly convinced. And I remember my Amara going, "There is something seriously wrong with you." And I laughed my head off. And the whole time I was thinking that, but he never actually does anything nefarious. It's very strange.
Yeah. It's a red herring. He's just there the whole time. And he's like, "The lodge will provide for you permanently." And I'm like, dude, I am not staying in your creepy ass lodge. Oh, and I beat it. What is it? Mancubus goes, we could have you as a resident here at the lodge permanently. And Flack goes, I will. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this. Where is it? This. I will unequivocally 112% verifiably not be doing that. It's something like, I can't do Flack's robot voice, but you get what I'm trying to do.
Yes.
Robots are hard, it's true, but they're also awesome.
You're going to need to send me that later because I need to know exactly how you program that.
Well, the problem is it changes your own personal voice. So like I could send you the effect, but it won't sound like that. You'll have to tweak your specific voice to sound like, which is hard to do. But it helps if you have someone on Discord with you and just like turn off all of the Discord modifications and have them listen to it and be like, okay, raise that, try this, that kind of thing. So we can work on it. I can make you sound like Gladys, maybe.
Oh boy. Ellen McLean, I believe was her name.
I don't know. That's a really good question. I wish
or maybe
I
I'm
knew.
thinking of John McClane.
Maybe.
Ellen, somebody in chat will correct me. See, some people think that sound like that's Glad Tess.
Well, yeah. So it's not actually Gladys. It's kind of a combination. It's meant to sound like all of your favorite female AI or robot characters. So one of them is Gortys for sure from Tales from the Borderlands, which I love. I wish she would come back somehow. I love that character. She's the sweetest, and I feel like she should hang out with Flack, and they should be friends. And I just love her. She's adorable. And also other characters from other, all of your favorite AI characters from movies and books and video games and all that stuff. But definitely a little bit Gladys, a little bit Gortys, a little bit Tess Bot of Madness.
Movies. We haven't, what I just realized? We haven't talked about the Borderlands movie in forever.
It's true.
There has been absolutely no news on that front. I get worried. worried when I hear like a news splurge and then there's nothing for a while.
Don't be worried. That just means they're head down actually at work on it, I'm sure, which I mean, so. There's so much that goes into putting together a production like that. I mean, just like I maybe I understand a little bit better because of how much work I've realized that you have to do for a show like the Bordercast or Ultimate Vault Hunter. Like we've been, producing and editing and live streaming and doing all of these shows, recording, filming, all this stuff. Mitsu doing all the awesome writing ahead of time. Like
does all the awesome audio and recording and editing and all that stuff.
I love my team.
You're gonna shout me out. Yes. I'll shout you out. You want to play that game? Let's play that game.
I have a boss partner. What can I say?
Or which way? I think it's that way. Somewhere. She's over here.
Okay, so for me it's that way. For you it's this way.
Okay, so I'm going this way.
No, the other way.
No, the other way? Oh, this way.
Yeah. This guy is cool. It's very confusing. But yeah, so like, I don't know. There's just so much that goes into it. And we're just doing like an hour show, a whole movie, and how much production there is and how much goes into that. I can't even imagine. It must be incredibly cool to work on, but also incredibly complicated. So I'm sure that they we don't know who the other actors or actresses are going to be yet. We don't know what the story is. Although I think that they kind of already have a plan and have I don't know, I'm guessing. But I'm sure they're hard at work, and I'm sure we'll hear stuff when more newsworthy things happen. But I'm very excited for that movie. I wish they would do a TV show. I'm definitely the kind of person that loves long form kind of dramatic content like that. Like the longer the better. The more time I get to spend with my favorite characters, it's also partially why I love video games. I'm so happy I found a way to at least turn on the dialogue for most of the time, not in combat, but most of the time, because I really missed it. I love interacting with these characters so much. And so I kind of wish they would do a TV show just because I want to spend more time with all the cool Borderlands characters. It'd be
I
great.
would like to see a smaller story about characters we don't know set in the Borderlands universe and have it be canon, and then have occasionally characters that we are familiar with occasionally come in. That's how you could do that right. Like Marcus shows up for an episode or two, or like it could be set before the unfortunate events of 3. So like Maya could show up for an episode or two, or you could have Claptrap running around, or maybe this is set so far back that there are just tons of Claptraps.
Oh
so
my
it's
God.
not our Claptrap. We get attached to another Claptrap, which is
Ooh.
actually kind of depressing because then you know what's going to happen to that Claptrap eventually.
But it would still be kind of cool.
That'd be great.
Clapception. I like it. Coming from a wonderful viewer in chat.
Clapception.
Yeah. Clapception. Oh God.
Yeah, nobody's attached to any Claptraps. Whoa.
I like Claptrap.
Yes, we are pretty attached to just our Claptrap.
Yes.
We tolerate his annoying yet. I'm trying to find a good correct word to use here. Eccentric existence. Eccentric is a very good word here. Lovable. It's like he can be lovable in his annoying ways. He's that little cousin who always wants to play video games with you, but you just don't have the time right now, as much as you kind of want to also play video games with him sometimes too.
Endearing, yes, definitely.
Endearing.
Yeah, that's a good word.
I think
for
endearing
him.
is a good word.
Yeah. He's good people. Or
Good robot.
So they IGN got the inside track on something, and I'm a little envious. I'm a little envious of what they got to show off. IGN got the inside track at Gamescom with some of the Psycho Krieg gameplay reveals, along with Connor Thomas Cleary giving some insights, I believe, as to what's going on, or at least providing some context in the article that IGN wrote as a follow-up. And while we won't talk specifically about the article, we definitely will be talking about this gameplay footage. Tess, do you happen to have that ready for him?
I do actually.
Oh boy. Let's
yeah, so
let's
if
get that
you
going.
are ready.
Oh, I'm ready.
All right, let's do the thing.
And boom.
I'm using the wrong mouse. Let's pause for just a sec.
Sure.
Because I have no audio and I don't know why.
Uh-oh. They flubbed the title twice, though. Oh. That's the thing. This is a tongue twister of a title. I think I messed it up once or twice, too. And when we were doing the interview with Max, he actually said, that's a wonderful title that you have come up there, but that is not actually the title. Because I wrote it down, I think, as Psycho Krieg and the Fantastic Fustercluck originally.
Yes.
Or it might have been Fantastic Krieg and the Psychotic Clusterfuck. Oh,
Yeah.
I said, everyone's going to be like, he said the thing.
Oops.
Damn it. Oops.
Oopsie.
I need my beep button. Where is it? Where's the dump button? We don't have it. See? And then, well, obviously you can't do that as the title, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slightly less than ideal. I don't know what I did.
Now chat's throwing me under the bus. Banned.
No, we can't ban Mitsu. I need
Wah,
him.
wah.
He's
Demonetized.
awesome.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Okay. Mistakes were made.
Yeah, whatever. I make mistakes all the time. That's okay. It's not about how many times you get knocked down. It's about how many times you get back up.
Okay. So
I should say that as Sylvester Stallone. Hey, it's not about how many times you get knocked down. It's about how many you get back up.
all right. In theory, this should be correct, and we should have audio now. I'm going to start from the beginning.
All right. Starting from the beginning. Here we go.
Yeah. Give me one
Ready?
second. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still no audio.
Uh-oh.
Why? Technology, why?
Who doesn't love technical difficulties? That's okay. Take Two. Why, that's our parent company. Oh, wait.
Um,
That was a decent joke, actually. I'll give that. I was almost going to car crash myself on that one. I didn't.
I don't understand why it's not working.
If worse comes to worse, we always show it next week. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll bring somebody on to talk about it too.
Let me try one more thing. Technology, why?
See, you might have to get the mallet again.
Yeah, seriously. I didn't mess with this one, so I'm not really sure why it would be having problems.
Do it karaoke style. Ooh, I could do that. Just
Could
sing
be
the entire
cool.
thing. What if I tried to just provide an audio reading? I would watch it, and I'm trying to describe what's going on as I watch it. That sounds like a terrible idea. I'm not doing that, but there you go. Narrate Typhon style. So this one time, I went into a psycho's head. It was pretty crazy in there. Stuff was floating all over the place. Tried to jump up and down, but really, up is down and left is right. Who even knows inside there? Not me.
Oh God. Apparently I have a package. Okay.
You too?
I don't know why this isn't working. I'm trying to think of an alternative method to play it, which I might be able to do, maybe.
What are you thinking?
Let's see. Let me just see if I can play it on a different computer, but that's going to take a minute to set up.
Now do Claptrap. I could never do Claptrap. We need to hear Krieg. Could I try to do... I could probably do like Angry Krieg, but I am not sophisticated and suave enough to ever do something like what... I can never remember what his name is right now. And he's so good at playing both sides of Krieg. Because that's what surprised me. Krieg is played... Both sides of Krieg's mind are played by the same person. But Angry Krieg would be something like, nipple salads! You have to just get really angry about nothing at all.
Oh God.
You can just generate that rage in your chest. You too can be Krieg at home, kids. I don't know why you would want to be Krieg, but you could be. Everybody's like, what do you mean, Mitsu? You know, he's not
2 seconds,
100%
Mitsu,
all well.
because
Yeah,
they won't be able to hear you just for a sec. Okay, they should be able to hear you.
Okay, they can hear me. That's very good.
And
God, I hope so.
Possibly. Okay, so that's audible. So now I just need to make it visible for you guys. I can do this. I got this.
I believe in you.
Yes. Maybe. Okay, so we're going to...
Oh, hold on. I got one for them because I know this line has been so popular and I'm going to hate myself for doing it and feeding into this, but it really is a good line. Ready? Open bestiality! It's sesame, dummy.
So good. And of course,
I can't believe I get to say that, and that's my job. My job is to say that.
technology hates me.
That's okay.
Just hates me. Yeah, there's no way for me to do this without, like, there's just no way for me to do it. Unfortunately.
That's right. So be it. That is quite all right. We'll save it for another time.
I don't know why it's not working.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
Whatever. We ain't got to worry about it this week.
Yeah, it was working before the stream.
So that is quite all right. So unfortunately, we won't be able to do that this week. That is okay. We'll try and figure it out, and hopefully we'll have it for you next week. If not, perhaps more things. We are still trying to poke and prod and hopefully have other things prepared for you guys next week in terms of Psycho Krieg. But if that should fall through, it is worth pointing out that it is okay because we don't have to wait very long for Psycho Krieg and the Fantastic Fustercluck. I got it right that time.
We can play the trailer for them if you'd like to do that.
You can play the trailer again.
Yeah, let's do that.
Play the trailer again real quick. Good thing.
What goes through the mind of a psycho? We are about to find out.
Say hello to a torturing nightmare! Aboard the pain wagon! It's just following an angry anthropomorphic rain train into a strange portal. What's the worst that could happen? Open bestiality! It's sesame, you meathead.
I love this trailer so much.
He really is a wonderful.
I am the meat maestro.
Meat Maestro for the win.
Hope you're up for
Tess
some
and
weird
Mitsu.
stuff, Vault Hunter.
So good. So good. I love that trailer. They always do such an incredible job with the trailers, and I absolutely adore them. That one. I know, Maya. I'm so stoked. I'm stoked to see crazy purple Lilith. I'm super stoked to see Maya. I'm super stoked to get to know Krieg better. I think it's going to be really cool. Really cool.
It makes me wonder if, as we're in there, we're actually going to get to know the Vault Hunters themselves, everybody that we've come to know and love throughout the way a little bit better too. Because seeing a character through a different character's eyes provides new context and perspective on those characterizations as well. And who's to say that we won't get, because I know we're going to have Tannis in our ear the whole time, right? Because she has that ability. Who's to say that some of the other Vault Hunters and characters that we've encountered throughout the way won't provide insights as a, because let's say, okay, example here, let's say Lilith was still alive. Let's say that we do get to do, because people are like, oh, well, what if we get to fight Lilith? All right, fine. Let's say we fight Lilith. Okay. What if she was alive, she was like, wait, I've never done that before. Really? He thinks I have those powers? He thinks I'm this way? Like, it would be really interesting to hear what they think of Krieg's interpretations of those characters themselves.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair and interesting. That's really interesting. I just think it's, I mean, it's crazy to be able to get inside anyone else's mind than your own. Sometimes we have a hard time even understanding our own brains, much less someone else's, much less someone else's brain that's a psycho, that's Krieg, right? It's just incredible. Like, I'm so excited to see what the devs have come up with, because anything is possible. And I know some people say that they're like sad to see Maya because they're reminded that she's gone, but I'm just happy to get to spend more time with her. Like, who knows? And this is pure speculation, but if we get to take loot from the DLC with us, maybe we get to take Maya too somehow. I don't know. I want to have hope for that. It might be totally ridiculous, but either way, I'm just like psyched to spend more time with her, to see her in that ridiculously awesome, badass, like Borderlands 3 styled look and everything. And I'm just psyched. I'm so psyched. I can't believe it's only like a week and a half away. That's so soon. Yeah.
And so it makes me wonder this. All right, so we've established that like New You and everything isn't really canon, but have we really? It just occurred to me just now, because we talked about Maya and trying to, I would love to see if they could find a way to bring her back. We could talk about the book, because the book is a great way to be able to do so. Do you remember in Borderlands 3, there was a quest pretty early on where you actually scan what's her name's brain in the jar, and then through the power of New You, which suddenly is canon, I guess, it recreates a copy of her body, literally pulling her out of some sort of like digital realm. And so like the brain is still there, and then a full copy of her is also there now.
Yeah.
So like, could we conceivably use Krieg's memories to pull Maya out of this virtual realm that we're going into, and then have New You digistruct a new Maya?
Maybe.
Is that fair? Can we do that? Is that allowed? Is that legal?
I mean, it would be awesome, right? It would be so awesome if we could. I would love, oh my God. Okay, so I'm pretty much for sure going to get this tattoo anyway, but if they actually bring her back, heck yes, I'm getting the tattoo. Oh my God.
I think the theory that I have is a little far-fetched. Just because New You is so flimsy on where it stands, whether or not it's actually something that exists in the realm of this game. But I could see that book, that damn book. Something about it just makes me feel like we're going to learn some big revelation that allows her to come back somehow. Will she have her siren powers? I actually don't think so.
Yeah,
she can't,
Ava
because
got them.
Ava got them, so Ava would have to die.
I love that Maya's a siren, of course, but I would still love her even if she wasn't a siren anymore.
Yeah, it seems that you've been trending away from sirens lately.
I mean, I like giant mechs and shooting things a lot. Okay, it's fun. Also, one thing I'm very excited for, just going back to Mayhem Made Mild,
Sure.
Speed Demon Iron Bear. That's all I have to say. Speed Demon Iron Bear. If you haven't seen it, even if you have not made a Moe's character yet, just like do it. Just like make a new character, get enough, like play her for 5 minutes so you can actually put the point into Iron Bear and just like put on Speed Demon and run around for 5 minutes. You will not stop laughing. I promise you. It's like ridiculous. I mean, literally the giant mech is like everywhere. It's so good.
Iron Bear turns into Flea. That is a joke for probably 3 people in chat, but those 3 people loved that reference. And that is okay. I'm quite okay doing a show for 3 people. Yes. So there was one of the last things I wanted to talk about today, and this one's a big one, is Borderlands won an award, and it's a pretty important one. Borderlands 3 at Gamescom this year was awarded Best Ongoing Game. Okay? That's huge. That is a big deal. And to me, and we'll get into this a little bit, that indicates that this year is just the first year. It's not just, all right, here comes Krieg, and that's the end, because you don't get that without having some plan. We'll get to that in a little bit. But first, we think back to everything that we've had over the past year. Remember the launch. We've talked about it a little bit, but that was a heckin' crazy time. Last April, 2019 April.
Oh my God. It was bonkers. It was awesome. God, I remember when they just announced the game and I was like, what? Borderlands 3 is coming back? It feels like it was yesterday. And there's been so much content since then, like so much. It feels like every single time it slows down a little bit and you're like getting what you want in the game and you're just kind of chilling. All of a sudden there's new stuff. Like I've never been bored with Borderlands. And not that I ever was with Borderlands 2 either, but it's just really nice to always have something new visually, something new to get, something new to do. It's really cool. It's been amazing.
And since then, of course, we've had so many patches and hot fixes. They've come out almost every single week, whether it be something as small as perhaps this past week, as we talked about on Hot Fixes Applied. It was simply just switching over the events. Other times we've had patches where it's been 2, 3, 4 pages long, and then I have to sit there for an hour being like, all right, what is the most important stuff that we can fit in an hour-long show for the Bordercast? All right, maybe we cross this out, maybe we take this, cross that out, and that's kind of the process that goes into that. But they've kept on top of everything. And again, I'm not going to sit here because people have said, and I got accused of this last week when I was on my channel. They go, Mitsu, you don't say anything bad about the game. You're lying. One of the things that I had a problem with, especially very early on with the game, is the fast and furious nature which they nerfed things. I hate when they nerf PvE games. Yeah. It bothers me immensely. And as time went on, for those of us who stayed around this long, and for those of you who are still listening, of course, we appreciate you for doing so, you know that they really haven't nerfed anything in the past 4 months. It's been buff. The only thing that's been nerfed was Guardian Takedown, when they nerfed everything by about 30% because it was too bullet spongy.
Yeah.
And we all kind of universally agreed with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I know that there is a minority of people that like really liked the extra challenge. And I wish there was like a mode for them or something, like a different kind of challenge mode for them. Sure. I do, but honestly, I think myself and a lot of the community really needed that change, because sitting and shooting one thing for a really long time just isn't as fun as going pop, 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 maybe not insta killing things in the hardest content in the game, but definitely not just like spending too long on an individual enemy unless that enemy is an incredible, like crazy boss. Like I love the Anathema fight. I love the Scourge fight. They're so fun. They're so interesting. And so I definitely think they kept the integrity of the content with the nerf. A higher difficulty mode for those really, truly hardcore players would be cool to see. But I still think it was a very appropriate nerf.
Yes. Some people bringing up, and this is actually a fair point, Ricochet was nerfed, but that was not necessarily because the power of the weapon was too strong, which it was, admittedly. Sorry, Moxley, I love you. That was more in tune with our console friends having a lot of graphical issues when Ricochet would bounce all over the place and off of like 20 enemies. It started causing a lot of frame drops and issues in the game. So that kind of sucks, but at the same time, they did put a little, I think, what is it? They gave it a 20% buff as compensation, like a patch or two later, to kind of help alleviated the fact that that was a thing. Yeah, Thick Fillet brings it up right here. Yeah. Those guns weren't specifically nerfed because the Yellow Cake was another one that also got nerfed, and the Towson was also nerfed as well. There was a bug in the recursion, for example, that was literally nerfing your frames. So if you wanted to enjoy the game in glorious 30 to 60 to 90 to 120 to however many frames you can get out of it on your AMD cards, that is what you would want to do. You'd want to nerf it so that you could actually enjoy the game still, because that's not even the problem of the hardware. That's literally the problem of the technical limitations of the game itself. And that does happen from time to time.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate when it happens, but what can you do?
Yep. You do what you have to do, which is they had to tone it back. But again, they moved power back into it by putting more raw damage on the output, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, that was them trying to fix a bug that nerfed your frames, which is such a good way to put it.
Yes.
One of the viewers actually just mentioned Zettabyte that they should put Nerf guns in the game as a joke, and I think it's a brilliant idea. And I really hope that some developer hears this and just like puts in a gun literally called a Nerf gun, and it like shoots out the things that Nerf guns shoot or something similar. It would be amazing.
There is a modest
plan.
precedent for that. Okay. There is a squirt gun in this game.
That's true.
There is a squirt gun.
And
so
it's awesome.
Off the wall guns like that could theoretically exist in this game. I would like to see that. I think that would be incredible. That would be very enjoyable for there to be a literal Nerf gun. And the Nerf gun can only do 1 damage no matter what level it's on. You could get a Mayhem 10 Nerf gun and it only does 1 damage. And like the little dart bounces off and just falls to the floor.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I could enjoy that. That'd be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
A gun nobody would use, but it would be a great joke.
It would be.
That's Borderlands. Borderlands is we're about blowing stuff apart, but sometimes it's fun to just have a joke that's just a shenanigans gun.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Yeah.
Millions of patches. Then there were events. Bloody Harvest.
Valentine's Day, Revenge of the Cartels.
Mm-hmm.
I think the community as a collective whole would love to see all of these come back. We don't know for sure if or when. We don't really know, so we can't give you guys that information, but we definitely hope so. And I think a lot of people in the community just really want all of these events to be recurring or permanent, but at least recurring. And I think recurring is honestly good. If they were all available all the time, it would be just like overwhelming and a lot of stuff, and it would sort of diminish the specialness of them when we get them back. And I'm just so excited for all of them to come back around. So many people are psyched for terror builds again. So many people are psyched for all that stuff. So hopefully we'll see.
Some people think there was a Nerf gun in the toy pack. I feel like I know that now, but I don't.
Really?
I don't remember. Yeah. I don't remember ever actually using it, which is strange because I know I got the toy pack, and I don't know why I wouldn't have used the Nerf gun.
I think it was a squirt gun. There was so there's a squirt gun that you use to cool down your COV weapons, but there was also, I think it was a squirt gun. Yeah. But I don't remember a Nerf gun.
Yeah, there's definitely a squirt gun. That one I remember. I have to see the Nerf gun at some point. Maybe I have to start a new character so I can get all of it sent back to my mail, because I would love to see what it is. So, yeah, because chat's just yelling at us now. They're just like, yeah, that's the thing. I guess I just overlook it every time, because why would I?
I'm gonna go check. I'm gonna go check, because you can get all of that stuff back by just starting a new character, right? So
yeah. If you have the special edition, you get all that stuff right off the bat. Mm-hmm. And somebody asked me an interesting question here too, because we were talking about the wedding invitation. In a previous episode, did I say the wedding invitation was a bad gun? Okay, so my experience with the wedding invitation was that it was fine. Other people said that it was amazing. For me, I was playing Zane at the time and only Zane. Not that I didn't like any of the other characters, just focused on Zane. And for me playing on Zane, I just wasn't really impressed with the damage that was coming out on it because Zane wasn't really optimized for using with the Wedding Invitation. But Flak, apparently it did really well on, and Amara, it really did well on. So for me, that was kind of my issue with it. It wasn't to say it was a bad gun. It just wasn't doing what I was kind of hoping it would do for the character I was playing on. So that's kind of how I feel about that. But the Wedding Invitation, otherwise, I hope that comes back. So,
nice.
yeah, I'm hoping for more events. I like what they did with Revenge of the Cartels. I think that's been one of the very few universally agreed upon amazing content creations that they've ever had in Borderlands ever across all of the games. Like everybody can agree on very few things. And one of those things seems to be that Revenge of the Cartels was super fun.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody ever say a bad thing about Revenge of the Cartels, ever.
Yeah, it was really good. It was a really cool new location. I love that every event adds a location. Like, not only are they adding a whole bunch of locations in the DLC, but these totally free, included with the base game seasonal events come in, and there's new locations, new maps, like new visuals, new eye candy, right? You guys know how much I like eyeball candy. And sometime around Halloween, I'll actually be eating some eyeball candy. But really, I love so much that they keep giving us new, beautiful places to go and new loot and new everything. And I'm like excited to see if everything comes back and it's changed maybe, or it's the same, or who knows, like maybe we'll get different stuff this time around. I don't know.
I think that they might expand a little bit upon some of these events. Maybe not. Like Bloody Harvest was fine the way it was. I enjoyed it. It was a little annoying to fight that one ratch down in the basement that was kind of like the key holder, but other than that, it was perfectly fine. That ratch, of course, I still had badass viewer events turned on at that time, and that made that a really rough endeavor because that was the one that always wound up being the viewer badass. And so it would just heal and heal and heal and heal, and it was just good.
Yeah, viewer badasses can get very, very OP unless you melt them immediately, which sometimes is mean to the viewers, but also kind of funny. Just saying.
So we look forward because the whole point of this award is they said best ongoing game. And the way I interpreted this is you can't give a game best ongoing game when the game is about to end its current content creation cycle, right? Because we were now at DLC 4. This is the last of the announced DLCs. We don't have any indication that there's anything presently that there's going to be anything else coming out for Borderlands 3 as of right now. There's no DLC 5 announcement. There's no extra. There's no new events. There's actually no takedown either. We haven't seen a roadmap. Wow, I just had to adjust my chair. I just realized that we haven't seen a roadmap in forever. Well, we were seeing roadmaps fast and furious when the game first came out too.
True, but that doesn't mean nothing is coming. I mean, we don't really know. We know that there are no more levels, right, beyond the 5, at least for a long time, past the 5 that we're getting with the DLC. But that's going to give us a lot to chew on, and then hopefully we'll get events. Right. And we'll see. We'll see what comes next.
Exactly. So it just, I feel like Borderlands getting this award is a very veiled like hint that there's more to come. That's my interpretation of it, because I can't see them getting nominated for best ongoing game and then winning that award when the game is coming to an end so soon. I think that it's, and again, this isn't coming from Gearbox, obviously. This is Gamescom that nominated, and like, so to me, I think that Gamescom has this interpretation that this game will continue beyond where we're at right now because they've been supporting it all this time. So that's just kind of what I wanted to bring up here. It's that I'm hoping beyond hope that there is more to come after DLC 4. And if you're enjoying the series, I would say stick with it, because I certainly am. Because you don't get this award if you're not looking at least another year, 2 years, 3 years down the road.
Yeah,
This
and
is
I
the kind
also
of,
I feel like they've earned my trust that they're going to provide me with this awesome entertainment for a long time. I honestly feel that, even though they haven't like specifically said it, I feel like they've earned my faith in them to provide that for us as streamers, us as the community, for us as players, everything, because they've been doing so much more than we ever expected them to. You know, nobody really had any idea that they had all of these like ongoing events planned or ongoing releases of events and hotfixes, and the live team working so hard to make sure everything is balanced and everything is working for everyone and optimize the game and make sure, you know, everybody's like different varieties of builds are viable and all of that. And then beyond that, all of the seasonal events, DLC, all that stuff. Like, we expected DLC, I think, because we had that in Borderlands 2, but we definitely didn't expect seasonal events like we've had, and we've had them for this whole time, right? So I just, like, I don't know whether or not they're going to do seasonal events. I don't know what the plan is going forward, but I believe in them having a cool plan and providing us with cool things, because they have this whole time. Like, they far exceeded my expectations for sure. And so I just, you know, I foresee them doing more of that, I would imagine. I hope. We'll see.
You said this, and I have to, of course, do it now, because that's the running joke for this particular episode of the Bordercast. Gearbox will provide.
That's so good. Oh my god.
There you go.
Mitsu, you were awesome.
We've tied the entire show in a nice, neat bow for everybody. We call that bookending in the business. We're going to break down the fourth wall for everybody who's there. I don't know. All right. Yeah, we are about time, and that will probably. It was unfortunate that we could not do the Psycho Krieg IGN gameplay. We really wanted to, but some technical difficulties happened. So whatever, we roll with it. That's just the way life is. I can tell you right now that if you haven't gone and seen it, please, by all means, head over to IGN, check out the article, listen to what Connor Thomas Cleary has to say about his insights into this magnificent world inside Krieg's mind, which is where we will be going in all of 9.5 days, because it is September 1st. It is September. Do you remember September? The best month of the year? I do, because September is now.
We may be able to show it to you guys next week, but just in case, I did put the link in the Twitch chat, and I will be adding the link to the description for the podcasts for the listeners. If you guys would like to check it out at your own convenience, it'll be there.
Yes. All right. With that, Tess, where can they find you?
Oh, I'm here on twitch.tv/Borderlands, usually Mondays at 4 p.m., Tuesdays, of course, for Bordercast, and Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern, doing gameplay Mondays and Wednesdays. However, tonight is a special case, so I'll be streaming tonight on the Borderlands channel in a couple of hours from now, doing some awesome Amara things, a little bit back to my Siren roots, trying Moxie's build. And you can also find me on twitch.tv/Tessichka on my own channel, pretty much any other days around 7 p.m. Eastern, sometimes in the morning as well. I do around 10 a.m. Eastern streams, mostly Borderlands and some other things. And Twitter, Tess Games, and Mitsu. Yes.
Make sure you check her out, by the way, because she's going to be doing Mayhem Made Mild today for the first time. So that's going to be kind of a big deal, because I'm going to try and be there. Because I want to hear your reactions as you see Big Head mode. When you first see Galaxy Brain, especially in the cutscenes, I want to be there for that, because I feel like you're gonna die of actual laughter. As for me, of course, twitter.com/MitsuShow, MITSUSHOW, and twitch.tv/Mitsu. I was actually live on my channel last week. We did a very special stream, and Conductor Krieg, the conductor of the poop train himself, showed up for a very special visit. It was magical, and we had a great time. We talked about a variety of topics, a lot pertaining to Borderlands, some pertaining to a lot of other issues that are plaguing our great industry right now. So we had a lot of fun, and hopefully I'll get to do that again very soon. Anyway, that will do it for all of us here.
Yeah, thank you, you guys, so much for joining us. If you enjoy the show as much as we love doing it, please make sure to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and like, of course, if you enjoy the show. Get notifications going on Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, TuneIn, Google Music, which is going away, but it's turning into YouTube Music, so we're going to figure that out for you guys. Stitcher, and join us live, of course, on Twitch every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Thank you guys for being here.
Indeed. And don't forget that this week, you can watch Ultimate Vault Hunters, our sister show, starring Liz55 and her guest, Psychotic Wolf, will be on the program once again. That will be Thursday, September 3rd, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, right here, twitch.tv/Borderlands. On behalf of Tess, myself, and the entire content creation team, thank you so much for joining us as you do every single week. Now go forth and make some mayhem.